Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Earl, and welcome to the Villainous Tournament, the ultimate Villainous Tournament. This is the first match of round two. Now, it has been 3 months and some days since I uploaded the last one. I took such a long time because actually my tripod broke, and I am in the process of moving, so my room and my setup is a little messy. And a tripod just wasn't like the biggest priority, even though I really wanted to get back to filming these villainous videos. But I got a fun one for you today. We got 2 of the newer characters and 2 of the older characters. Well, are they considered older? They're still in like the later half. I don't know. But we got King Candy versus Gaston versus the Horned King versus Davy Jones. And we are going to get started right with King Candy. So his hand, let's see, he has Candy Sidebugs, Taffeta Mutton Fudge. I'm actually going to see if I can move this up a little bit so I don't have to hunch so far down. Zoom in there. But I got this tripod, but I also had to like set up a little concoction to keep it because this tripod will not hold my phone. Like my phone keeps slipping out of it, and it's just not as good as the tripod I used to have, which is unfortunate. But we start with a Candy Sidebug, Taffeta Mutton Fudge, Racers, and a Glitch. At least we could get some early allies out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to gain 3. I'm just going to spend 2. I'm going to play some Cybugs. And then I might as well place down some Racers for free. Because when they are played or moved, I gain 1 power. And I played them, which means they're basically free to play. Their ability could have been, when they're moved, you gain 1 power. And then they could have just made them free. Alright. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to draw a Turbotastic and a Locked Up Memories. Locked Up Memories is a good card. Alright. So yeah. I have a whole bunch of my stuff just kind of lined up against the wall behind me. I could have filmed this earlier today and maybe got 2 of these videos out. But the sun, I took my curtains down and I don't know where I put them. And the sun has not been kind today. Alright, Gaston starts with a much better hand, where he has Monsieur Dark, the Mob, Bella's Mine, and Come Into the Light. Alright, I think I start off with a bang. I think I go to the tavern, gain 2 and spend 3 to instantly play Come Into the Light, and get rid of these 2 obstacles here. With Gaston, I think the easiest strategy for removing obstacles is always to do the 2 middle locations first. Because with cards like Take Me Instead, he draws a wolf to end his turn. With cards like Take Me Instead, he can end up drawing the Beast or Maurice. And you can always defeat them to remove the obstacles from the 2 ending locations. Over to the Horned King. I mostly chose to do this match first because I just really wanted to play Davy Jones. Horned King and Gaston are definitely not my favorites, actually. Fun fact. I mean, I'm sure people who've watched my ranking videos on my channel know. Horned King's first hand is horrible. He has a Cauldron Born, our hour has arrived, we have made a bargain, and only moments away from victory. This hand basically is useless, so I think I'm just going to go to the throne room and discard the whole thing. And draw back up. We get Cauldron Born, Show Me the Cauldron, We Got You Now, Pigkeeper, and Ancient Soldiers. That is a much better hand than what he had. If that was a starting hand, we'd be golden right now. Alright. Davy Jones time. Got his treasure tokens shuffled. I'm going to have to figure out how to add Ernesto de la Cruz, Hans from Frozen, and the Sanderson sisters here when they come out on July 5th. I will be picking up the Halloween set with the Sanderson sisters, but I will also be picking up the Darkness Brewing set because it looks cool. Like, I know it's all the same characters, but the box is super dope. I love purple, and also it gives me the time. I don't have to wait till Halloween to play the Sanderson sisters. I know it's a cash grab, but I don't know. All right. Not the best starting hand for Davy Jones. We have a Do You Fear Death, but the other cards are pretty much useless. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to go here to the below deck. Grab a power. Spend one to play Do You Fear Death. All right. Let's see who we get first. Jack Sparrow's coming out immediately. All right. If Davy Jones is at Jack Sparrow's location, Davy Jones cannot perform a Vanquish action. Let's put him here. And he does get a face-down treasure token on him. And we're going to discard the rest of the hand. All right. We draw back up. We get the Chase again. Pretty sure it's the last one in the deck. Wyvern Speaks, the Crew of the Flying Dutchman, and the Flying Dutchman itself. Okay, so this is definitely a better hand. I do have some games showing up later this year that I'm really excited to try on this channel. I got a really nice 7-foot long poker table for the place I'm moving into with my girlfriend next month. And I can fit a lot of board games on it. I can fit any of the Dead by Daylight board games, which I've been painting. I've been really proud at how these have been coming out. Like, I painted the clown yesterday. Well, from the Dead by Daylight board game. And I just have a ton of games I can play on this channel. Horrified, Marvel United. I have a whole bunch of horror board games. I have Wonderland's War, which is the newest addition to my collection, which is absolutely becoming one of my favorite games. So yeah, like, Villainous... The 3 types of Villainous will not be the only things featured on my channel. I'll definitely be playing other games. Some games definitely more than others, like Villainous will probably be the most prominent game, but also Final Girl. Final Girl's a game I do want to start playing a lot more on this channel. I think aside from Villainous, the game that I want to feature the most on this channel is definitely Final Girl. But anyways, back to the game. We are back to King Candy, and I think we are going to... I'm actually going to go to Speedway. Or not the whole thing is the Speedway. What am I talking about? I'm just going to move one space. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 1 to play Locked Up Memories. And I'm just going to use that to gain 3 power again. So that's going to give me lots of money. And I am going to discard Turbo Test again. I'm actually going to discard this glitch. There's more glitches in my deck that I'll get to by the time I find the Hero Medal. So we're going to draw a go. We draw a Candy Cybug, don't get a Wind Chill, and the most powerful virus in the arcade. If another player moves an ally during their turn, you may play the most powerful virus in the arcade and move forward to action spaces. It's not the best thing in the world. Alright, real quick though, I do want to see if, I do want to try to remember Davy Jones's conditions. Okay. That's if anybody plays an ally. Gaston has no conditions, right? No. Alright. Gaston, I'm going to take him to the woods, and I'm simply just going to play some wolves to Beast Castle for 1, and I'm going to discard Bella's Mine and the mob. Well, actually, I don't know, the mob could be useful. I think I'll keep the mob. I never use them, because usually you wanted to use them to take out Beast, but Beast is just going to move them anyway. We draw 2 more wolves to end this turn off. Alright. Back over to Horned King. Gaston did play an ally. He did have a fade action, but I don't think anybody is worth fading just yet. I tend to want to wait like a few rounds to fade somebody, and nobody's made any real progress yet. Horned King. Alright. That is until the Horn King showed up. So I'm going to move here to Fairful Kingdom, gain 3, spend 3 to play Ancient Soldiers. Then I'm going to spend 1 to play Show Me the Cauldron, so I can gain the Cauldron. And then I'm going to activate the Cauldron to flip it over. So now we have the power of the Black Cauldron. And that is going to be it for the Horn King's turn. We draw his Henchman, and we draw a Gwythanes. Fun fact, the Black Dragon Calamite from Dark Souls, like the hardest boss in the game, is actually based off of those dragons. Fun fact. Since a lot of people don't even know about the Black Cauldron, turns out that really iconic boss from Dark Souls is actually based off of a character from this movie. I didn't know that until I watched Jacksepticeye play through it. That was so cool. That was a really fun fact to learn. Back over to Davy Jones. Gaston did play an ally, so I'm going to play Wyvern Speaks. Draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards from your hand. So we're going to draw 3 cards. Friends Becoming Enemies, the Kraken, or the Crew of the Dutchman. I got to discard 2 cards. Well, these discard 2 cards from your hand. Well, this is the easiest 2 cards of my life. I'm just going to discard these again, because I got a whole handful of goodies now. So first things first, I'm going to want to get the Dutchman out. I'm going to go here, I'm going to gain 3. Where do I want the Dutchman? Do I want the Dutchman here? I think the Dutchman here is a good idea. Of course, I can put the Dutchman here, and I could play a guy. I don't know. I could play a guy, maybe. Davy Jones may take a non-fade action, because I actually don't have another play a card action. I think we just put it here. Yeah. We just put it here. No. We put it here. I don't know what I'm doing. Put it here. I spend 1 to put it here, and I use it to gain 2 power. Back just for some extra. Or, instead, I can use it to use another play card action, and I can play another Crew of the Flying Dutchman, and they are going to be gaining a lot of strength because of each other. Each of them has +1 strength right now. And that will be it. I'll actually keep the Flying Dutchman there. Alright, we draw the Crew of the Flying Dutchman again. Do you fear death? And I'll take that as a no. So, there's like 2 types of Davy Jones games I found. There's a Davy Jones game where you get all of your allies out before you defeat most of your heroes, or there's a game where you bring most of your heroes out before getting all your allies out. And it's looking like it's going to be an ally game. I don't know. That would be cool. I like the games where I can get all the allies out and then just clean sweep all the heroes on the board. So King Candy. Here, if another player moves an ally or item, I didn't actually do that with Davy Jones. I revoked that because I didn't really need to. But we got some more stuff here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, why not? Gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play Duncan and Windchill here. And I'm going to move the Racers to gain 1 power. Or instead, I can do this. So, I can still gain the 2 power. But instead I'm going to use the 2 power to play Taffeta Mutton Fudge. She's played or moved. Move the Racer token back 2 extra spaces. Or you may perform a play card action. Then, so I'm going to play that. And then I'm going to spend 2 to put Duncan and Windchill here. And then I'll move these guys. And I'll get more cards out of my hand. So I'll still gain 1 power back from that. Wait. 2 there. And I spent 2 on Duncan and Windchill. And then I gain 1 back. Okay. That's what I got. And that is going to be it. We draw out of order and go. I don't think I've ever actually used Taffeta Mutton Fudge for her purpose ever. I don't think I've ever actually used her Racer token ability. Alright, we're going to go over here. Let's actually get a bunch of allies out. I'm gonna go over here, gain 1, and I'm gonna spend 2, and I'm gonna play some more wolves. And I'm gonna just play them here. We don't need nothing at Belle's house right now, but each of them has plus strength. I actually got to get all these strength tokens on all of these guys and Davy Jones's allies too. Oh, I already got them over there. But yeah, these guys have +2 strength right now, each of them. All right. And I have a fate. Okay, is it about time to fate somebody? Question mark. I do have this bag. I feel like everybody could be justified with fading right now. Davy Jones and Horned King especially. So, if I draw anything out of here, if I draw Gaston out of here, I don't fate. The Horned King is getting fated. Alright. And of course, there is no fate token because it is a 4-player game. So, being that that is what Gaston's ending his turn off on, I'll just move right over here. Also, Gaston draws a 5 dozen eggs and a LeFou. Alright, let's see here. Henwen, you cannot play effect cards or Flute or Flam. Flute or Flam can come back, right? Pretty sure, yeah. Flute or Flam can come back. Henwen, he already has the Black Cauldron, so Henwen's ability. We'll just stop him from playing effects, and we'll play him to, or her, should I say, to Morva. Alright, so Horned King can no longer play effect cards. That sucks for him. So I'm going to go... I'm just going to go to Dungeons, gain 2. And do I want to fade somebody? Let's see it. Let's start making enemies. Yeah? Let's start having these villains make enemies with each other. King Candy's getting faded. Alright. Looks like we get Wreck-It Ralph, and I finally have a real car. Oh no! Okay, well, the thing is, I don't actually have to do... It says I may move the racer token. So, I could play this instead of Wreck-It Ralph. Well, he doesn't get Vanellope. He doesn't actually get Vanellope until he plays the hero medal. So, actually, I will play Wreck-It Ralph. And I'll put him... I'll put him here. We'll see where I put him later. But I put him on top of a play card and discard. Specifically the one that King Candy's driving up on. Alright. Here now. Let's see here. I got another Crew of the Flying Dutchman. I got to do You Fear Death. I think, yeah. Then I go here. I play another Crew. These guys are just gaining a whole lot of strength, which is really good. I just punched the Horned King. Ooh, that ain't right. And then I'm going to play a Do You Fear Death. Let's see who I get. Curse You, Jack Sparrow. Is this a discard the rest? Yeah. Elizabeth Swan, she gains +1 strength when another hero is played. Let's spread out my options here. Or maybe I was trying to use the Kraken for all of them at once. So I'll put her here too. And then I'm going to discard... I'll take that as a no. The black spot, they're here, and I'll take that as a no again. Alright. Back over here to King Candy. You can see where I put Wreck-It Ralph. Alright. Let's see here. No one moved anything, so I can't play that. Alright, I mostly need a discard, but I don't have that because of Wreck-It Ralph. So I'm just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can gain 3 power, and that's pretty much it. Just got to move forward as much as possible so I can get to those discards. Alright. Here now. Just 1 second. Alright. Gaston's turn. Okay. I'm going to go over to... I don't have enough power for Monster Dark yet. So I should probably discard something? I think we go over to the woods. Gain 2. I'll spend 1 to play Monster Dark to Belle's house. And I'm going to discard a 5 dozen eggs. And that'll be it. Do I want to fade somebody? Do I think somebody's worth fading? I think we faded enough for now. I think the only person who actually needs fading right now is Gaston. Gaston himself, and he can't fade himself, so... Alright, we got the Horned King now. Go over here to Fairfolk Kingdom. Gain 3. I'll spend 2 to play some henchmen, and I will get rid of... First, though, I do got to do this. And replace these guys with the Cauldronborn. Then I'll play the... So that'll be 2. I'll gain 3, I'll spend 2 to play henchmen, I'll vanquish Henwin. I already have the Cauldron. And then... that's pretty much all I can do. I mean, I could play Gwythaints, but why would I? We're going to draw a Creeper and a Visions. Alright. Looks like back over to Davy Jones. Alright, it looks like we got... I'll take that as a no. Nobody defeated any heroes with a strength of 3 or more. So we can't use that. Anybody discard 2 more cards? No. That wouldn't have worked anyway. So, I think what I'm just going to do here is... I am going to... I'm just going to go Davy Jones quarters. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to use... I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 to play the black spot. And I'm going to reveal it on Jack Sparrow. Treasure chest. Allies cannot be played to this location. That is completely fine. And I'm going to use the Flying Dutchman to perform a Vanquish action. And get this first treasure token from Jack Sparrow. These guys are gone. Each of these guys loses strength. And I don't have the power or the actions to do anything else. Wish I could have discarded, but I can't. And we draw Clanker. Also, can I just say how much I love this mover, by the way? This is one of my favorites in, like, the whole game. When they announced Davy Jones, the first thing I thought of was like, oh my god, how cool is this mover going to be? Alright. King Candy. I move 1, 2, 3. No, I think I just moved here actually. Gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 and I'm going to play some Candy Cybugs. Get all these allies out first. And then I'm going to fate... I want to fate Gaston or do I want to fate Davy Jones? Oh no, we're going to see. We're going to see what I draw out of this bag. Oh. We draw King Candy. Okay, King Candy fates no one then. Really feel like you should, but whatever. Alright, we draw another Racers. Okay, next turn, definitely we will discard. Over here now to Gaston. Gaston will now have enough power for Monster Dark. Go over here. Gain 2, spend 2 to activate him to remove 1 obstacle. And I'll just take one from the woods. But unfortunately I don't have a discard action. So that's all we are doing. Alright. I go over here to Horned King. He has nothing. So I'm going to go to Morva. I'm going to gain 1. I will spend 2 to play Gwythaints this time. I'll play them to the dungeons. And then I'm going to discard the rest of my hand. And I will be fading Gaston. I don't need to draw from the bag for this. We draw. Saving my life, replace all obstacles in a single location, or Maurice. Saving my life is definitely the better option. We're going to replace all those obstacles in the tavern. So again, here comes Gaston being one of the most simple, but one of the hardest villains to win with in Villainous. Simply because his Fate deck just makes him restart the game. And we draw Ancient Soldiers, a Gwythaints, only moments away from victory, and a Cauldronborn. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these guys have any items to play. Unfortunately, these aren't very item-centric characters. Now, if you were playing against Radigan, Horned King could use that condition every turn. Alright, Davy Jones. Let's see what we got here. I need to get the Kraken out of my hand. I really do. It's really difficult, though. Because he is so expensive. But I think instead I'm going to go to below deck. Gain 2, I'll spend 2 to play Clanker to the flying, to the, wherever this is, Davy Jones quarters. And I will discard 2 cards. And that will be it. I draw Wake the Kraken, another there here, and Hadris. Ooh. Alrighty. We're getting stuff, We got a plan in motion for next turn for sure. Alright. Davy Jones, or not Davy Jones, King Candy time. Alright. Yeah, this is a pretty easy turn. 2, 3. Here. That flag action, the start finish line, is a play card. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to play go for 1 to move up the 2 allies to new locations. So I'm going to move these racers here. I'm going to tap it a Mutton Fudge here. So I basically played that card for free because the racers just gave me that power back. But Taffeta's also going to let me play another card because of her ability. So I'm just going to use that to play some more racers for free because they'll just give me that power back. And then I'm going to discard my other 2 cards. We're going to draw a glitch, a go, more racers, and have some candy. Have some candy should definitely help us get that hero medal out because King Candy's moving along really slow right now. I think how I'm going to add Ernesto, Hans, and the sisters to this tournament is probably... Actually, I have to look at the paper. I think I had an idea, but now I can't. Now I'm having a brain moment, and I can't remember what the idea was. Alright, Gaston's hand is as horrible as ever. So I'm going to go to Woods, gain 2, I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to play the Mob to Beast's Castle. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to discard LeFou. I just need all these cards out of my hand right now. 2, 3, 4. And let's give Davy Jones some love. Let's fade Davy. He's the only character who hasn't been faded yet. We got Calypso's Love and James Norrington. Davy Jones could just place another treasure token on him, but I could reduce his power to 2, but he already has less than 2 power, so I can't even play this card. So I have to play Norrington somewhere. I'm gonna play him here. I'll play him in the most annoying location to play him, probably. Alright, and Gaston gets a Swoon, Bella's Mine, Beautiful as Me, and Hunter's Instinct. Alright, over here now to the Horned King. Alright. Anybody play an item? Nope. Alright then. We're going to go over to Fairfolk Kingdom, gain 3, and spend 3 to play some Ancient Soldiers to the Fairfolk Kingdom. Or Morva, I mean. And that will be it. We draw another Ancient Soldiers with the hopes that somebody will let Horned King use that condition. Alright. Davy Jones now. So he now has a new hero on his board. Actually kind of messed up what I was planning on doing. Oh, but Gaston did discard 2 or more cards. And he was the one who played the hero, so I can play their here to place a face-down treasure token on a hero without one. So indeed, I can go here. I can gain 3, spend 2 to play Hadris. And then I could spend 2, my last 2 power. Do I make that? I don't make that. To play Wake the Kraken to discard an ally and play the Kraken to Davy Jones locations for free. So Hadris, when he's discarded from play, he will reveal a face-down treasure token. Jack's Compass, Norrington gains +2 strength. And the Kraken is played. Too bad the Kraken has 8 strength. And I will use Clinker's Vanquish action to kill James Norrington. And that will not only give me the Compass, but Norrington will also give me 2 power. And I now have that move item or ally action for available, so I'm going to move the Kraken over to the Shoals of Shipwrecked Island. And that is how you clear the clutter in your hand. Alright, nice. That was a great turn. We draw First Mate Machus, Do You Fear Death, Wyvern Speaks, and the Crew of the Flying Dutchman. Alright, back over here. Oh, man, Davy Jones is so fun. Like, there's, like, some of the recent characters that it's, like, they're not in, like, any of my favorites. Like, Shere Khan, I definitely don't enjoy playing. Tomato is the most hit-or-miss character in the game. King Candy's okay. He's not one of my favorites, but King Candy's cool. But Davy Jones and Oogie Boogie are chef kiss villains, in my opinion. Like, Oogie Boogie's like my 3rd or 4th favorite to play at this point. Alright. We definitely can do something with King Candy here. So I'm just going to go 2, 3, 4. Gain 3, spend 1 to play Have Some Candy. Alright, so what do we do here? We draw the top 5 cards of the deck, put 2 into my hand, and discard the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got Locked Up Memories, Paid Erase, Candy Sidebug, Glitch, and Locked Up Memories. Paid Erase, don't need. This Glitch, we don't need. I think we just take the Cybugs and the Locked Up Memories. We discard the rest of these. And then I also have a discard action. But actually, at the same time, I don't even need these Cybugs. I don't need this power for Locked Up Memories. I don't need Go. I don't need these Racers. I'm just going to discard 4 cards from my hand and draw back up and see what I get. There's the Hero Medal, Turbotastic, and can't be allowed to race. Anybody have any conditions that they can do? Nobody played an item. But, yeah, I was right. I did remember this, actually. Last second. I think Davy Jones did do 4 actions, right? He did. Gain 3, play a card, move an item or ally, vanquish. Yeah, he did 5 actions. So Beautiful as Me is coming into play. I'm going to remove this last token from the woods. And I'm actually going to go to Bell's house. Gain 1, spend 1 to play Swoon to put this obstacle back. And gain 3 power. Swoon seems like an intimidating card that's not a good trade-off, but I'm telling you, use it. Just use it. I'm going to discard the rest of my hand, and there's no fate action there. So Swoon is going to help you in the long run, because that is the only way with Gaston that you can ever gain 3 power. Okay, we draw Temper, Hunter's Instinct, Follow Me, and Show Me the Beast. Okay. Not much is happening. Alright. Once again, nobody played an item. Poor Horn King. So, I'm just going to go over here to Morva, and we're going to discard 2. I would keep this card if I knew King Candy had the Hero Medal. As the Horned King player, if I didn't know King Candy had the Ralph Hero Medal in his hand, I was going to discard that card. In the long run, that's not a card I need. So I'm just going to draw 2 back up. Now, if I did know, as the Horned King player, that King Candy had the Hero Medal in his hand, I would definitely keep that card 1000%. But when I'm playing the Horned King, I don't know that. Okay. Did anybody play an ally? Anybody play an ally? No. No one played an ally. So I'm not using Wyvern Speaks. However, I can go over to the below deck. I'm going to spend 3. I'm going to play First Mate Marcus to, I don't even know. I'll play him here, just in case anybody here has the music box, so I can't use the Kraken to defeat them. And then I'll spend 1 just to play another crew. I'm also completely forgetting about the strength that they're all gaining. I'm not going to discard anything, because somebody's bound to play allies at one point. We get Bootstrap Bill! Oh my god, that is the one card I forgot about. Bootstrap Bill is a phenomenal card. Alright, just a second. Let's see these strength tokens. I gotta get strength on all these guys. Every location has an ally in it. So these guys are all at max strength. All my strength tokens gone. They're about to be. All my +1s at least. Because I gotta use them for Gaston too. Alright. Things are definitely coming together for Davy Jones though. Definitely gonna be some fading going on soon. Because this game is progressing really nicely for well, one villain specifically. The thing about Davy Jones is that he takes a while to win with, but you can do basically nothing to him. Like, either way, you give him a hero that he can eventually defeat. So going against Davy Jones is actually just kind of like a race. Like, going against any villain's kind of a race because you got to win before they do. But like, it's especially there for Davy Jones because there's not much you can do to stop him. Once he's there, he's there. There's no taking treasure tokens from him. If he's got 4 treasure tokens, you can't do nothing about it. You just got to pray to God that he doesn't get enough stuff to get the 5th one. All right. Moving 1 space. We are gaining 3. Oh, wait. No, I have to defeat Ralph first. Where do I want to move then? Where's my Vanquish? Do I have a go? I do have enough power for Can't Be Let a Race. Alright. Yep, that's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to go here, gain 3. I'm going to spend 3 to play the hero medal. Ralph is going to teleport over here. Then I'm going to spend 6 power to play Cannot Be Allowed to Race. I have never used this card. 6 whole power for that card. Cannot be allowed to race. Move any number of locations to a hero, allies to a hero's location. Perform a vanquish action, but do not discard the allies. So I'm going to move. I'm going to move the racers over here. Just to gain an extra power, just because. Perform vanquish action. Do not discard the allies used. These Cybugs are, I moved them to a new location, and their strength is also increased by 1. These guys aren't discarded. Wreck-It Ralph is gone. Vanellope needs to be found. She was the very top card. All right. And just like that, Vanellope is on the board. Ready for the race. Go and Sour Bill. Took us a minute, but King Candy has finally started the game. Took us 40 minutes for King Candy to get Vanellope out. Alright. Gaston. Still not doing much. Go here, gain 2. I'll activate Monster Dark just to remove this. And then I will spend 2 power to play Temper. And I'll remove it from Belle's house. I don't have nothing else, though. So I'm just going to draw back up. And I draw a Time to Follow Me. Oh, boy. This is not looking good for Gaston, but Gaston is one of those very sneaky characters that can pull out a win in 1 turn randomly. Alright. I almost said Morva, but I stopped myself. Horned King. 2 to play. Now this is where the Horned King is reeling from his mistake of not keeping that condition. Because he could have had this out. There was going to go to Fairfolk. 3, and we'll spend 3 to play some soldiers to the throne room. And we will draw back up. We get a Captured and a Cauldronborn. Okay, some characters are desperately in need of fating. Mostly the Horned King. And, I mean, Gaston as always. Like I said, Gaston, if they didn't know any better, Gaston could have all the cards he needs to win in his hand right now, and they wouldn't even know it. I can get this Cauldron over here. It's so far away. Davy Jones' turn. I want to see if I can do something phenomenal here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to gain 3. I wonder if this will actually work. Gain 3. I'm going to spend 1 for the top play card action to play Do You Fear Death? Calypso's Love. Where Does It Point? Curse You Jack. Calypso's Love. Where Does It Point? The Black Pearl. Where Does It Point? Okay. Will Turner. Alright. Where do I want to place Will the Turner? When he is played, discard an ally with a strength of 2 or less from his new location. Actually, that sucks. that's he would have been the worst hero to bring out. I guess I'm just gonna play him here. And then he gets a treasure token on him. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Bootstrap Bill for 2 here. That's going to reveal this. The Kraken cannot be used to defeat this hero. Then I'm going to use the Vanquish action for Clanker to defeat Will with the crew here. So I get the music box now. These guys are gone. Bootstrap's still here. Horn King did play an ally, so I could have used Wyvern Speaks, but I didn't really need to. So let's see. I used a Flying Dutchman for something. Has to be at the... Has to be there, though. If only I had 2 extra power, this would work. I just need 2 extra power. But I don't have it. I'm just going to move the crew of the Flying Dutchman over here. That is going to cause, however, both of these guys to lose a strength. And I'm going to use the Flying Dutchman to gain 2 power from them. But I'm not going to reveal that treasure token, because if I reveal that treasure token, it can be taken away. So we draw the crew of the Flying Dutchman and Wake the Kraken. Alright. Something needs to happen to Davy Jones, man. Davy Jones is catching up significantly. Actually, he's ahead of everybody else. Alright. I'm going to go here. I'm going to discard 3 cards. And I'm going to gain 3 and spend 1 to play the glitch. I'm going to put a glitch on Vanellope. Alright. There's those. Racer tokens here. And so am I. And the big race is starting. We draw the last 4 cards of our deck. And we are going to need to shuffle this for next turn. What if we just start off by drawing Pay to Race immediately? That would suck. Alright. Gaston's turn. Man, ain't this a tragic hand. Go over to the woods. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to discard my entire hand. And I'm going to fate somebody. Alright. Horn King. Horn King is getting faded. Let's see what Gaston draws real quick. Come into the light, take me instead, swoon and beautiful to me. This is a much better hand. All right. Oh, yeah, right. Horn King's getting faded. Which is a more of a... Horn King immediately loses 2 power, discards 2 cards from hand, and Gurgi's Happy Day. Shuffle all discarded fate cards back into Horn King's Fate deck, draw 2 new fate cards, and play them both. Alright, so these are going in there. Gurgi's Happy Day staying separate. Alright, I don't know who we're getting. Draw 2 new fate cards and play them both. There's only like 3 good fate cards in this deck. I believe in you and Gurgi's Sacrifice. Oh crap, okay. I believe in you is going to make him discard his whole hand. And he is losing a lot of good... He's losing a couple good cards. And it lets him draw 3 cards from this villain deck. Which he gets Show Me the Cauldron, We Got You Now, Pigkeeper, and the Henchman. And Gurgi's Sacrifice is going to flip the Cauldron over, causing the Horned King to lose one of his Cauldron Born at the start of this turn. If I were him, I would choose this one. Alright, and just like that, Horned King is in last place. Dead last place. This is not looking good for the Horned King anymore. I instantly have to go over here and activate these Ancient Soldiers. Or, better yet, I could go here, move them over, gain 2, spend 1 to play Show Me the Cauldron to gain 3. And I can fate. And if it were my choice, I personally fate King Candy to get that Racer token to head start. The Beacon, choose a location and move all adjacent Candy Cybugs and play to that location. You may remove 1 Candy Cybug or Felix. Oh, Fix It Felix is a really good ally to have when the Racer token's out. Fix It Felix is a really, really good. So I'm going to place him here. I'm going to place him at the second location. King Candy cannot no longer move forward. He can only move forward 2 or 3 action spaces. That's going to slow him down a good bit. Alright, and the Horned King he is drawn back up. Alright. And Horned King is back at square one. Sucks to be the Horned King, for sure. Like, the Horned King, there's not much you can do against him in Fate, but when those cards come out, they hit hard. Alright, Davy Jones. Nobody played an ally, I don't think, still. Oh, no one's playing no allies. Alright, it might be time to get rid of Wyvern Speaks then. But I haven't lost hope yet. So, I'm going to go... Or do a Flying Dutchman, gain 1. I'm going to spend 2 to play the Black Spot. What do you be? When heart is collected, lose all power. Alright, well, it's inevitable. I'm going to use the Kraken to vanquish Elizabeth Swan. And that is going to make me lose my 1 measly power. And I get Fate! Who do I want to Fate? Gaston! Come here, Gaston. Oh, and what do I draw back up? I draw Do You Fear Death? Wyvern Speaks. Kraken, Crew the Flying Dutchman is what I have now. And for the first time since the very first turn of the game, King Candy, or Davy Jones' board is free of heroes. He just got 1 more token in there. Alright. We got Be Our Guest and Miss Potts and Chip. Be Our Guest, find a hero in the Fate discard pile and play them. There is Maurice, but that's not really worth it. Miss Pots and Chip, one play you may move all heroes or fate items to new locations. I don't know. I really don't want to put Maurice out. So I'm just going to put Miss Pots and Chips at the tavern. Alright, over here now to Davy Jones. Not Davy Jones, I'm getting the names mixed up. Man, what is wrong with me today? I usually never get their names mixed up like this. Alright, King Candy. Can only move forward 3 action spaces. Well, first things first, I gotta reveal this. Candy Cybugs. And these go on the bottom of my deck, I'm pretty sure. So the Racer token moves the cost of that card +2. So she's moving 4, 3, 4. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna play Turbotastic. Since if any of my 3 actions are covered, I can still take those actions. So I can take a play a card. I can take those. I'll just actually gain 3 and discard my entire hand. Alright, 1, 2, 3. We'll go. Locked up memories. I am currently behind her. I need to get to a Vanquish action as fast as possible, but to do that I actually have to move somebody. And I know just who it is. It has to be. Alright, over to Gaston now. Did anybody take 4 actions? Davy Jones did gain 1, take a Vanquish. Okay, Davy Jones did. So Gaston's going to remove some obstacles. Maybe this one. Almost put it in the cauldron. Gotta be careful. I'm having trouble remembering that Beautiful Is Me stuff, man. I gotta watch out. I'm going to go over to Beast Castle, gain 1. I'm going to spend nothing to play. Well, first, actually, I'm going to spend 3 power to play Come Into the Light. Remove these from the tavern. And then I'm going to play Take Me Instead and hope I don't draw a Bell. Maurice's Invention. Magic Mirror. Lumiere. When Lumiere is played, you may move a hero to a new location. I gotta play in a Beast Castle. I am gonna use that ability, though. I'm gonna move Pots and Chip over here. Alright, and that's gonna help me remove an obstacle. And just like that, yeah, that sucks. Y'all better watch out for Gaston. I draw a Swoon. Beautiful Is Me. Yeah, Take Me Instead. Alright, I gotta remember that Beautiful Is Me. Well, actually, no, I don't. I don't gotta remember that Beautiful Is Me. Because I don't know that he has that. But, at this point, being that he has only one obstacle, I would remember that card. Because he has played it. And I would wonder, how many of those do you got still? So I'm going to go... Not much we could do with the Horn King right now. So I think I'm going to go to Morva, gain 1, discard 3, and spend 3 to play some Ancient Soldiers, and I will not Fate. I will Fate. I'll Fate. Gaston! Bell, or I've never seen so many books. I'm going to play Bell to the Tavern. And Gaston does not get to use Beautiful Is Me. 4. Actually, I'll play her to Bell's house. And we draw Ancient Soldier, Cauldron, Born Our Hour has arrived, Visions. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, it's like, yeah, King Candy, or Horn King did take the Fate action, and technically that was the 4th action he took. But If the card says that if another player takes 4 actions, you should have to wait till the 4th action is done to do that card. But then here's Davy Jones. Wait, Davy Jones doesn't win, does he? Does Davy Jones win? I'm not entirely sure. Part of the crew, part of the ship. Alright, go here, gain 3. I'm gonna move. Well, I'm gonna gain 3, spend 1 to play the crew here. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna use the Flying Dutchman to use this action to move Bootstrap over. Then, so what? Those guys cost 1, so I have 2 power left. I'm gonna spend 1 to play Do You Fear Death? Curse You, and the crew is the bottom card. If I'm not mistaken, this card should be the key. Now I'm going to use that one to move Bootstrap Bill over to reveal that. It is the key. I discarded my hand, but that don't matter because I'm going to use Clanker's Vanquish action to kill the crew with the Kraken, thus making Davy Jones our first winner. But at the same time, the thing is, Davy Jones literally discarded all of his stuff with Do You Fear Death. And there's not much you can actually do against him unless any of his treasure tokens are revealed. You can move heroes with treasure tokens on them, sure, but if Davy Jones' whole board is covered in allies, it literally doesn't matter. Going against Davy Jones is literally just a race against time. There's not much you can do to him, so you just gotta pray that you can work faster. I guess Davy Jones is our first guy out. I also have to take pictures for all the thumbnails. For these videos too. I have not done that yet. I'm filming this before I got any thumbnails ready. Alright. And that is Davy Jones done. Alright. Now we're in the nitty gritty. King Candy might lose his first race, not gonna lie. Locked up memories. Alright, Vanellope moves 3 spaces. Literally right on top of the 1 space I need to use this turn. In that case, 2, 3. I'm gonna play Go. I can move up to 2 allies in new locations. What do these guys do specifically? When player moved, you may perform a Vanquish action. Yes. Alright, so I'm gonna move Taffeta over here. Move the Racer token back 2 action spaces. 2. And I'm going to move Duncan and Winchell here. And I'm going to use them to Vanquish Fix-It Felix Jr. And then I'm going to move Taffeta Mutton Fudge again to move the Racer token back again. And just like that, King Candy has fixed all of his problems. I can also discard, and yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll discard my whole hand. Alright, over to Gaston now. There's a lot of really loud fire trucks outside somewhere. Hope nothing bad happened. But if they're out there, I'm assuming something bad did happen. Let's see if I can do something here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to Vanquish Belle with Monsieur Dark. She is so weak. Oh, no, I don't have enough strength to vanquish her, actually. She has 2 strength? I thought she had 1. Man, I'm dumb. In that case, I'm going to go here then. And I'm going to discard everything. Gain 2 and discard everything. It's pretty much my only choice. I have a fate action. I might as well fate King Candy. No hurt and not. With all the magic sparkles, you may discard a glitch. If you discard a glitch and the glitch is still attached to Vanellope Von Sweet, with the Racer token. Oh boy. Alright, we're just going to instantly end the race that King Candy was so good at winning. Or that King Candy started winning. Um, it just says remove a glitch, so I'm assuming to the discard pile. Good thing King Candy is another one. The Racer token is gone. And King Candy has to start back at square one. That sucks. Alright. That definitely puts a damper on things. Alright, we got Get Out, Wolves, Intimidating. Once again, who is the villain in need of the most fading? Gaston. Alright. Horned King. Over here now. I will spend 2 to place a Cauldron Born here. Let's go to Fair Folk and gain 3 and spend 3 to place my last Ancient Soldiers out. Get all those out, and I gotta draw back up. I would go to Fate, but, like, Horned King needs to get some progress going. Because he is well behind the other two. Well, actually, not King Candy no more. If anything, King Candy might be behind him now. Cauldron Born, and we got you now, Pig Keeper. Right? King Candy's going to have to be the one to fate. So let's see it. 1, 2, 3. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 because I got to place that glitch. King Candy has so much power. But before I place that glitch, I'm actually fading Gaston. We draw Cogsworth and the Rose. I can't play the Rose because I can't remove an obstacle, so I have to play Cogsworth. I'm going to play him to the Tavern. Alright. Now I'm going to play the glitch, and me and the Racer token go back. Alright, and I draw a Turbotastic. Alright. I'm going to go to the Tavern. I'm going to spend 1 to play some Wolves and use them to vanquish Belle. And that's all I can do. I just need to get Belle out of here. And I draw a Coming to the Light. Alright. Horned King's turn again. He has no money. So I'm going to go over to the dungeons, gain 2, and I'm going to fate the Gaston. Kill him. Murder him. I'm going to play Be Our Guest to choose a hero from the fate discard pile and play them to any location. Belle is going right back to where she was. Like the cockroach she is. And that is all I'm going to do. Alright. First card, go. She starts off by moving 3 spaces. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move the full 4 with King Candy. I'm going to use the first play card action. I'm going to gain 3, use the first play card action to play Go to move up the 2 allies to new locations. I'm going to move Taffeta Mutton Fudge, and I'm going to move Eraser. So those guys will give me that 1 power back, and Taffeta will let me move the Racer token 2 spaces back. Also opening up that play card action, because I'm going to spend 1 to put another glitch on Vanellope. So she has 2 glitches now, just so I don't make the same mistake twice. And when a glitch is played to her, there's already attached move King Candy and the Racer token forward 2 action spaces. Alright, and that will be all. I'll draw back up. I drew Pay to Race. That's a good card that King Candy definitely has enough money for. Not much I can do right now. I think what I have to do, I have to go to the woods, gain 2. I'm going to keep 2 of these cards and discard 2 cards. Or actually, I spend 1 to play Intimidating. First from your villain deck into your villain ally, play that ally in your hand, discard the rest. Do I have any allies in here? LeFou's in here somewhere. He's just hiding out. Oh boy. Oh boy. There he is. Place him in my hand. Discard the rest. And then I draw 1, and I draw another Intimidating, so I could do it all again. And I'm going to Fate King Candy. Unfinished level. Look at top 4 cards of King Candy's deck. Put 2 cards on the top and 2 on the bottom. I finally have a real card. Reveal the top card of King Candy's Fate deck or King Candy's deck. You may move the Eraser token forward that number of action spaces equal to that card's cost plus 1. I'm going to play that card. I could reveal the top card equal to the number equal to the cost plus 1, and I drew Rouse Hero Medal. That card goes on the bottom of the deck, and the Eraser token moves 4 spaces. 2, 3, 4. Honestly, King Candy's lucky we drew that with the Fate card and not next turn because it would have moved him forward 5 spaces instead of 4. And that's all we can do with Gaston for now. Honestly, I'm just so happy to be back filming these tournament videos. I've been dying to. That's why I finally bought a tripod. Alright. I do have enough power to replace one of my ancient soldiers. I am going to do that. I got that kind of money now. And I think I'm actually just going to go to the Fairfolk Kingdom, gain 3 power, and hope that this top card is a Cauldronborn. It is not. Alright. Next thing's next. The Eraser token has to move! She moves 2 spaces. Here, King Candy does have Pay to Race. Before you perform actions on your turn, you may play Pay to Race without performing a play card action. Pay up to 6 power and move King Candy forward that number of spaces. Obviously, I'm going to pay the whole 6 power. I drew exactly enough there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For that number of spaces. Alright, now let's see what we got for actions here. 3 power, play a card, and discard. Honestly, I'm just going to discard. I'm going to discard everything but Pay to Race, or Can't Be Allowed to Race. I'm keeping Can't Be Allowed to Race in my hand because I'm not letting Penelope get her hands on that. Alright, we draw back up. And we are closer than ever to winning the race, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Back over to Gaston. Don't think there's much for Gaston to do here. I think, if anything, I gotta go to the tavern. I gotta... I'm gonna go to the castle. Gain 1. I'm gonna spend 2. And I'm gonna play LeFou to Belle's house. There's literally nowhere Belle can go that she is safe now. Even if a card would move Belle, there's nothing to be done. So I draw a Swoon. Gaston should win next turn, assuming that these guys don't have time to fate. But I think they do, because I'm going over here to Morva, gaining 1, discarding my whole hand. And as Horn King, I can see that King Candy cannot actually win next turn. but he's getting scarily close. But also as Horned King, I can see that Belle just needs Vanquished, and then Gaston can play an obstacle card. So I'm going to fake Gaston. It is you and massage you my feet. I'm going to play It Is You. That is the worst card in his deck by far. I can replace an obstacle at each location. That is putting a full 4 obstacles back on his board. That card is freaking insane. It Is You has always been the worst card in his Fate deck to me. Alright, and just like that, he has 3 obstacles. He only has 3 obstacles removed now, and we did not draw anything significant with the Horned King. All these guys are so close to winning now. So, first let's see how far she's moving. She's moving 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. She is ahead of me, but not for long. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move 3. I'm going to play Locked Up Memories to move the Razor Toga back 2 action spaces. Mostly because she does draw something big next turn. I lose the race. And do I have the Fate? Am I on top of the Fate action? I am, so I can Fate somebody. I'm going to Fate the Horned King, and that's going to be the end of King Candy's turn. We're going to go over here to Gaston. Alright, Horned King Fating time. Gurgi, and I Believe in You. Oh boy. Okay, I Believe in You is such a hit or miss card, because you can either take something that's like really good for him, or something that's really bad for him. So what I have is I have this trusty little dice here that my girlfriend got for me for Valentine's Day. Oh no! And I just dropped the case it was in. That's crazy. Alright. Anyways, come again. I have this really nice dice that my girlfriend got me for Valentine's Day. It has our initials on it and the date that we got together, which was December 20th, 2019. And I have never rolled it. But now is the moment when I do. So, if I roll, let's bring out Dice Demon Kevin for this. If I roll evens, I pick Gurgi. If I roll odds, if I roll an odd number, I pick I Believe in You. Alright, let's go. Hi-y'all. I rolled a 1. That is an odd, which means I pick I Believe in You. Horned King must discard his hand, then draw 3 cards from his villain deck. Now here raises the question, did you just let him win? Did you just let the Horned King win? 1, 2, 3. No, you got so lucky, King Candy. But Gurgi's also horrible. Gurgi wouldn't have done anything. Alright, back to Gaston. Gaston is now in a significantly worse spot. So, I'm just going to go to the woods, gain 2, and I'm going to spend 3 to play Come Into the... Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. Give me that back. I forgot Belle's here. I go to Tavern. I vanquish Belle with LeFou. When performing vanquish action in LeFou's location, all allies are returned to your hand instead of discard pile. I'm assuming that includes LeFou himself. Alright. In which case I don't gain that. So then I'm just going to spend 3 to play Come Into the Light to remove these 2 obstacles over here. And Gaston's praying that Horned King doesn't win right now. the Horn King is like, hey, guess what? I didn't win. He's going to go over to the throne room. Oh, wait, but he does actually have to fate. So I'm going to go over here instead. Gain 2, I'll spend 2, I'll just play Creeper to the throne room, literally just to get him out of my hand. And my last action is going to be fading. So I do draw Cauldron Born, but I am fading King Candy. Let's go over here to King Candy now. This game is going on so long with just 3 players. Get with this. Princess Vanellope move King Candy back up to 4 action spaces. Oh, man. Alright, he is now tied in the race with Vanellope. Ooh, okay. She moves 2 spaces. Or 3 spaces, I mean. She's over here now. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to gain 3. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. How much would that put me? I don't have anything to... with, huh? I think instead I go here, gain 3, spend 1 to play Locked Up Memories. To move her back up to 2. 2. And then I'm going to spend 1 to play Have Some Candy. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 2 cards into your hand. Discard the rest. Alright. This stays out. This gets shuffled. Not a lot to get shuffled here. Alright. I can discard 2. No, I put 2 in my hand, discard the rest. Alright, I'm going to put Go and Turbo-tastic in my hand, and I'm going to discard these cards. And I don't want those anywhere near my deck. Alright, and that is going to be it for King Candy's turn. Over to Gaston now. Man. One thing I do. I'm going to take the risk of going to the woods, gaining 2, and spending 1 to play Swoon. I'm going to put an obstacle back. To gain 3 power. That is something I need. It's money, money, money. And then I can discard and I can fate. I'm going to discard 2 cards, and then I am going to fate the Horned King. Witches of Morva or Dolly. I'll play the Witches of Morva. They'll just make him lose 2 power. And then I'll draw back up with Gaston. There's Instinct, Bella's Mine, Tempa. Alright, and just like that, the Horned King does spend 2 power to place his last Cauldron Born on the board. Horned King seemed like he was the definite loser of this entire thing. But alas, he did end up pulling out a win. Alright. Let's clean this all up. Definitely a competitive match going on, though. The Fate actions are working against everybody. Even King Candy. Like, King Candy's a character that you immediately look at his Fate tick and you're like, oh, this stuff ain't too bad for him. And then you look at Gaston and you're like, oh my god, this is horrible. There's no worse feeling in this game than playing Gaston. Besides Lotso. Lotso, too. Playing Lotso also sucks. Those are definitely my 2 least favorite villains to play. Alright. Back over here now to King Candy. How much does she move? She moves 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. This is kind of scary. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am right there. I'm right there. I'm just gonna spend 1 to play Go for that finish line card. or that finish line space. Move out the 2 allies in locations. I'm going to move Taffeta over here, and I'm just going to move these guys over here. These guys are going to give me 1 power, and Taffeta is going to move the racer token back 2 spaces. So she draws a, let's see here. She draws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If she draws anything with a cost of 3 or more, I lose the race. And what else am I on? I'm on a discard. I'm going to discard my whole hand. Discard everything. See if I can get a condition or something. Like this one. Which is useless against Gaston because he doesn't even have that action on his board. Gaston. Oh, it is getting windy outside. Gaston. Gaston can't fate. Gaston can't fate King Candy. Oh no. Go over here. I'm going to vanquish Cogsworth with these wolves. That'll let me gain 2 power. Like it'll do anything because I got to spend 5 power to play Temper or Get Out. And remove remove 3 obstacles, which is huge. But that only leaves me with 1 power, which is not enough to do anything. So he's going to draw back up, 1 turn away from winning. Okay, let's see. We get Sour Bill. She moves 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. King Candy goes, boom. King Candy wins the race, even though he had to start it over once. King Candy still prevails. Honestly, King Candy would have won before Horned King if King Candy didn't have to restart that race. But yeah, he definitely kept King Candy at bay as long as they could. But Gaston's Fate deck is just too brutal. You know, if Gaston gets down to even like 3 obstacles, like you saw how fast, if I had 1 more power there, you saw how fast I could have removed half the obstacles on my board in one turn. Like, if Gaston gets to like 4 obstacles, you better be fading him. Because he could pull a win out of nowhere. But yep, it looks like Gaston is unfortunately leaving the tournament. Bye-bye, Gaston. You will not have the luxury of getting the girl. You will forever be in the box until this tournament's over. But, yeah, about the Ernesto, Hans, and Hocus Pocus. I know I added Introduction to Evil Villains to this tournament. That was only because those villains all play a little different from their Wicked or Worst Takes It All counterparts. Darkness Brewing, they do not play different at all. Darkness Brewing is another entry-level core set that just comes with 4 villains in case somebody doesn't want the 6 villains that come with the big box, the original box, or the Introduction to Evil box. They can choose to expand their options with Evil Queen and Hocus Pocus Sisters. So I will not be adding those. The only villain from that set I will be adding is the Sanderson sisters themselves. I will not be adding the Evil Queen, Maleficent, or Ursula, because unlike the Introduction to Evil, they do not play different. They play the exact same. But yes, that is it. Gaston has died. And that is the end of the tournament. Well, that's the end of this round. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next match. Bye-bye.